Good evening, Graham Rawlins with our Wednesday edition of News Geelong. The historic bluestone buildings of Osborne House in North Geelong is the current setting for the Antarctica exhibition, while people from all over Australia have voted with their taste buds to see the Black Bull Spanish restaurant win a leading national food award. From the world of Geelong sport, Mitch Scoop Cleary updates us with the latest, while from the weather world we'll bring you the Geelong and Surf Coast area weather forecast expected over the next 6 days. The Osborne Park Association Antarctica exhibition is celebrating more than 100 years of Australian Antarctic exhibitions until June 17 in the east wing of the Swinburne Street, North Geelong historic building. Meryl Friend reports.
We're here at Osborne House, and the Osborne Park Association is very proud to present Antarctica. It's celebrating Mawson and 100 years of Australian Antarctic expeditions. It's open from May the 19th to June the 17th.
I had a very fortunate career. I went to Monash University, did physics, and then applied for a job as a Cosray physicist, and went down in 1970. I was only just left university, very, very green, and it was one of those great finishing schools for young men. I had an absolute ball, and I loved it so much I volunteered to go back again in 1972, and then started making films. So I went back to Macquarie in '75 as a filmmaker, and since then I've been back many times since. I think once the Antarctic gets into your blood, you can't get it out. It's there for life.
So for we mere mortals that have never been and ventured that far, what is it, do you think, about it? What's the one thing that's captured your heart?
I think it's the scale of the place. That first morning I can still see absolutely perfectly in my mind when the Neladan came through this great big series of icebergs, which is called Iceberg Alley, and it was just after the sun was just starting to rise in December, and you saw this great big white sheet sort of stretching before you, and behind it there were a series of 4 mountains, the Fram Mountains, and it looked as though it was close enough to touch. And I asked the captain, I was up in the bridge, I said, "How far are we away?" And he said, 40 miles, but it just looked like it was right there. The air is so clear, everything is just of a scale you can't imagine, and no picture, no film ever captures the magic of the Antarctic.
But you have gone from physicist to cinematographer of the year, so you've had some wonderful experiences, no doubt.
Yes, well, I've been very, very fortunate, and the Antarctic gave me those opportunities both to start making films, but also to work with people. I think the magic thing about wintering for 12 months is that you're down there, you can't get out, you've got to get on with 20, 25 other blokes, and you really learn to live with people, you learn to get on, you learn to cooperate, you learn to work as a team, and you learn to cope with an environment which is one of the harshest on earth. So it's a great life.
From Osborne House and the Antarctica exhibition, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. The Australian Youth Climate Coalition in Geelong is a growing regional branch of a national youth-led organisation representing over 30 major youth organisations and 70,000 members, committed to a renewable energy future. Ellie Dean has more.
We're here in Johnson Park to catch up with the local branch of the Australian Youth Climate Coalition. Their latest campaign is about to kick off, and I'm speaking with some of the people involved to see what it's all about. Zach, can you tell me a little bit more about AYCC?
Yeah, so we're a coalition of Australia's largest organisations, and across the nation we represent 72,000 members. And the structure that AYCC takes is building local groups around Australia. So because we really want to build a strong grassroots movement and give young people all across the country the opportunity to get involved and take action, have a voice on climate change, and be able to take action in their own communities. And so we've founded the Geelong branch, and that's
I joined AYCC Geelong probably about a year ago, and I just found that it's a really supportive group of people and we all have really similar interests. So the meetings once a week, we get to kind of talk about our interests and what we can do to help solve climate change. And so far I've done some petitioning activities with AYCC, but Repower is probably my first major event with AYCC.
And we're here down in Johnson Park for the start of the Repower campaign. How's it been going so far?
Yeah, we've had a bit of media attention, and we've got some people coming down and talking to us, and people seem really interested in this Repower campaign, so I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
I guess as an organisation, AYCC likes to promote broad cultural change, as well as the little things like, you know, getting public transport to work and riding your bike for those little short journeys, and just making sure people are aware of climate policy in government. We're a non-partisan organisation, so, you know, as long as people are just thinking about climate policy, we're very happy.
And where's the best place to start to find out more?
I guess the AYCC website is a great place to start. There's also a lot of government websites which have some great tips on how to, you know, save energy or cut down your pollution and things like that. Yeah.
What would some of the changes to your day-to-day behaviour be since you've been involved in the campaigns?
Definitely getting a lot more public transport. Yeah, and I'm in the process of getting a bike, so we're almost there, yeah.
In Johnson Park, Ali Dean, News Geelong.
Thank you, Ali. To survive and thrive in business, you need to be open to learning new skills and improving business operations. The Geelong Chamber of Commerce new president, Mark Davis, from Australia Post, spoke with Ian Nicholls on his new appointment for 2012-13.
The Geelong Chamber of Commerce has a brand new president. He's Mark Davis, the postal manager here in Geelong.
So I've been the Senior Vice President for 2 years and the Junior Vice President for 2 years, working with some great people across the lines from Sue DiGilio, Grant Sutherland and the immediate past President Jim Walsh.
Well, we must tell people, if they don't already know, you've been the postal manager here at Geelong for quite some time as well.
I have. I've been with Australia Post for just over 25 years and 17 of those now based in the Geelong region as manager of what was the Geelong Business Post Centre and now the Geelong Post Office.
Well, you're certainly a familiar face around Geelong and you've had a finger in quite a few pies, so you really are an icon of the city.
Oh, I wouldn't say an icon, but I do believe that you do need to put back into the community, and the business community especially needs to have people who are willing to step forward and do the right thing.
Well, now down to business, Mark. I know that one of the things that you are on the case for cutting red tape. I know you can't get it out of the system altogether, but you'd like to see a lot less red tape in business.
Yep, look, we have our public forum group, our public forum committee working on that. We do believe that it is something that most businesses, and especially small and micro businesses, are too tied up doing too much that the government should be doing or that isn't needed in the first place. So we've done a lot of research and we're asking for submissions from businesses about what are the things that are impacting on their day-to-day running of their business and what the government should be looking to try and cut, and whether that be local government, state or federal. We believe there is just too much red tape there. And in fact green tape is what we're starting to talk as well, and that is that some of the environmental impacts that are now starting to hit on small and medium businesses in particular needs to be confronted and fine-tuned.
Thank you, Ian. As we go to a break on this midweek edition of News Geelong, don't forget you can Twitter us on our Twitter account at NewsGeelong31 with your thoughts and comments. We'll return with more news after this.